Okay, so this is a short tutorial of Procreate and some of its basic features. I'm going to show just a few of those in this. So once we open Procreate, the first thing we're going to want to do is select a canvas. As you can see, I already have a few that I've created, but we're going to start on an empty one. And in order to create an empty canvas, we're going to come up here to this plus sign, and we are going to just choose whatever, these are all pre-loaded canvases, pre-made, I guess, the dimensions of the canvas. So we're just going to do one that's the size of the screen. So we'll come up here to P3, which is screen size, and that will open automatically. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to import an image because we need something to work with, right? We want to be able to manipulate an object, but we don't have an object yet. So what we're going to do is come up to this little wrench on the top left next to the word gallery, and we're going to click on or tap on insert a photo, and that will open up your image, your photo gallery basically. It just depends on what you have set up, but by default it's the image gallery. And then we're going to click an image that we want to insert into the project, and I'm going to click this basket fruit. I think that's like a generic image to use. Okay, and then what we're going to want to do is just resize that. You just grab one of the corners and pull outwards, and it'll just make it bigger. And it'll keep the aspect ratio so it doesn't mess up the proportions of the image. You lose less quality doing it that way. So okay, so now we have our image. What we're going to want to do is come up to this top left hand corner and click the mouse cursor. It should be highlighted in blue still because we want to deselect the photo. Okay, so now nothing is selected. What I want to do now is copy this onto a new layer. So this is our next step. We're going to move this image to a new layer to manipulate it, because what we want to do is preserve this object, right? If we do anything to this, we kind of want it saved, archived. So if we want to manipulate it, let's copy it onto another layer. In case we mess up later, we can come back and refer to this image. So to do that, we're going to come up to the right-handed corner, next to the color dropper thing. It's where you choose the color right here. We're going to click this, and you see where it says layer 1? We're going to take our pencil and we're going to slide left. We're going to press duplicate. And now we have two layers that are exactly the same. So this is our first original layer, this is our reference layer, and this is our new layer that we're going to manipulate. But I don't want it to be confusing, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to double tap that layer, the new layer that we've created, and this menu should pop up. This is just how you manipulate this layer by, you can make it a reference, you can merge down, which means you can combine the images, but we don't want to do any of that right now. So what we want to do is we want to rename it, and let's rename it to let's just call it layer 2. That's easy. Layer 2. Okay, and so now we have layer 1, which is our reference layer. Oh, what happened? Whoops. Okay, we have layer 1, which is our reference layer. We have layer 2, which is the one that we're going to manipulate. So right now we want to hide layer 1 because we don't care to see it until we mess up. So we just want to check that little box next to it. And then we want to come up to layer 2, and then we're going to do stuff to it. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to copy out the bananas. It's kind of an arbitrary task, but it's good to get to know the selection tool. So if you come up here by the mouse cursor, let's make sure this is still recording. Okay, the mouse cursor, we're going to click that, we're going to come down, and we have some options here. We have automatic, we have freehand, we have automatic, freehand, rectangle, and ellipse. So what we want is freehand, because we want to freely select the bananas, not the whole picture. We don't want to select rectangle. We don't want to select, basically a circle. We want to be able to draw out the bananas ourselves. So what you're going to do with that selected is you're just going to trace over the bananas with your pen, or in this case, my finger, because my pen's dying. And then you're going to want to select the bananas as best as you can. Okay, now with the banana selected, you're going to take 3 fingers and you're going to swipe up on the screen until this menu pops up called copy and paste. What you're going to do is you're going to click the button that says cut and paste. And what this should do is cut these bananas out of the picture and paste them onto a new layer. So let's see if that happens. Cut and paste. Okay, if we come up here from where we created the layers, it's called the layers tab, right? You see we still have our reference 1 picture. We have layer 2. We have the new selected image. So what happened when we cut and pasted is that it took the area that we didn't select and pasted it on a new layer, and it took the part that we did select and pasted that on a new layer. So now if we uncheck all of these, we just have bananas. It's kind of neat. It's not a great image, an example, I guess, but it's a good way to practice selecting, copying, pasting, and duplicating. And so there we go. That's a short little tutorial of some of the basic features in Procreate. Those are some of the most important ones. We can go into more depth about selection, but it really, having a grasp on this is a great start for beginners. So there we go.